Hey everybody, it's your buddy's pal Anthony. Today we're talking Ghostbusters Back in Town #2, the second in the miniseries from Dark Horse Comics, where it's supposed to bridge the gap of time between the end of AfterLife and the beginning of Frozen Empire. Spoilers after the intro. Steve, hit it please.
Who you gonna call?
Book 2 picks up pretty much where we left off after the end of the first issue, where the Ghostbusters had the pretty disastrous outing trapping that ghost that materialized in the firehouse at the end of the issue. And that's unfortunate in my book because we only have 4 issues and I want more time jumps just to kind of say that we've progressed and that they're coming together a little bit more. In my opinion, this book spends too much time with Gary and Callie trying to talk about what's going on and, saying that they need to come together as a team. They're trying to solve issues, but they're not really including the kids, so that's not really, a great way to foster a team dynamic when they're just going to make decisions for everybody. We follow Trevor, who's still in his phone, not interested in class, and just like texting Lucky nonstop, who somehow got to New York. She wasn't in New York that I noticed in the first issue at all. It seemed like she was back home, but in this book, she shows up in Central Park for a date with Trevor. And wouldn't you know it, a ghost just also happens to find Trevor moments before she arrives, and without the aid of any of their gear, Lucky standing there staring at the ghost is enough to make the ghost retreat. So, okay. And then also in this book, Gary and Callie have a pretty disastrous outing because a group of bird watchers in Central Park, they notice another of these green ghosts, and one of the bird watchers runs down, finds the firehouse, finds Gary and Callie, and they decide that they're going to go to Central Park and try to take care of this, because they said one of the things they needed to help the team was to practice more. So they're going to practice by themselves without the rest of the team because that makes sense. And also, for a guy who's supposed to be a scientist, even I know the idea he had is pretty dumb. They go to trap the bird ghost thing, and it's not charged. And then Gary has the bright idea for Callie to shoot the trap with her neutrino wand, thinking, oh yeah, that'll charge it up. And predictably, it just disintegrates the damn thing, and the ghost gets away. That's what's going on with these other characters in the book, and I really didn't need all that personally. Like with the movies, I just enjoyed the parts where Phoebe was front and center, and in this book, it's no different. And that's actually kind of sad, because I do like the other characters, just in this book, kind of like in Frozen Empire, they're not really being utilized well, and we only have 4 issues and 2 after this, so we're running out of time quickly to make me like these characters. I like them in Afterlife. Frozen Empire, they kind of seem secondary to Phoebe, which is fine, but it's also they kind of try to give them their own beats too, and it was just like, where are you going with this? Who do you want to be your Ghostbuster? Now the comic seems to center on, okay, Phoebe, let's go with Phoebe, and that's the wise choice. So Phoebe takes some of the slime that she collected earlier. She takes it to Ray at his bookstore, and he's like, it's not neon pink slime, is it? And she's like, no. What are you talking about? And he gives her a little bit of a history lesson about what happened in Ghostbusters 2 with Vigo, and then he mentions that after they defeated him, the slime all just disappeared. And, the city was quiet for decades after that. Ray has a jar of crystallized slime, and he remarks to Phoebe that this is all of the pink slime that's left in the entire city that he's aware of. Armed with this new information, naturally, Phoebe does exactly what Ray told her not to do. She grabs a proton pack, a PKE meter, and heads into the sewers to see if she can't trace the source of the slime herself. And when she's in there, we have a disembodied voice calling her name, saying to come to her. We find kind of I don't know if it's a source of slime or just where it's all collecting at the moment, but there's glowing markings on the wall, there's a huge puddle of the green stuff, and then from the slime, a body starts to emerge, saying that the people don't need Ghostbusters, what it needs is chaos, and that's where the issue ends. Again, kind of not much going on here, and then at the same time, there's a lot going on here. They're trying to pack in, like I said, they're trying to pack in team building, but we're only doing it with half the team. They're trying to further Trevor and Lucky's love story, but she just miraculously appears in New York City, and he's, instead of like fixing Ecto or doing anything, he's just, in his phone most of the issue until he has a random encounter with the ghost in Central Park, and the even more random encounter of Lucky appearing. I thought they were going to have a FaceTime date when I was reading the panels. So that's Ghostbusters Back in Town number 2. I kind of wish this thing had stayed on schedule and came out before Frozen Empire, or maybe I have to wish that Frozen Empire came out later like it was originally intended. I can't remember which was which here. But so far, I don't know what the point of this series is, because all it is they're probably going to bust another big bad and then go right into Frozen Empire, and that's fine if it's an ongoing series and maybe it ends with them busting a big bad before Frozen Empire, but for something that was supposed to bridge the gap, I mean, I can assume that they moved into the firehouse and the firehouse had issues because of the state we saw it in at the end of Afterlife, and I can assume that they had trouble being a team because, of course, they're brand new and they're a little bit in sync in the beginning. We only really have them do the one major ghost hunt before Phoebe gets grounded in Frozen Empire. So yeah, I don't know. 2 issues left. Maybe they can pull something out of their hat and wow me with it. But considering it's a limited run miniseries, it's moving way too slow, and I just don't see the point of going this slow when you only have 4 issues to work with. Maybe they should have done, I'd have to double check, if say there was a year, 2 years between Afterlife and Frozen Empire. That's just my assumption. I didn't look it up. But whatever gap of time it is, if it's a year, one book is winter, one book is spring, fall, summer. I know I got those out of order, but you know what I mean? Like, just do a time jump. Let's see them progress. Like, we have 4 issues. It doesn't seem like enough time to me. So that's what I think. I'm still going to wait to give my overall grade of the series until I've read all 4 issues straight through. Maybe reading it as a complete story will change my mind and it'll make a little bit more sense. But there we have it. That's Ghostbusters Back in Town number 2. Let me know down below what you think of the book, what you thought of my review. If you have anything you disagree with or you have anything you agree with me on, let me know. Let's talk about it. Tune in. We have 2 live shows a week for you guys here at Nerd Affiliated. We have Nerdy Coffee Monday mornings, 9 a.m.-ish. And we have Hey Archer Live Thursdays, 8:15-ish p.m. As the boss says, 2 different shows, 2 different vibes, both a great time. If you like this video, if you want to see more, head over to YouTube, search Nerd Affiliated, like and subscribe to the channel. Remember, for just $1 a month, you can join the Nerd Affiliated Army, and you get certain perks along with that. You get invites to join on the live shows. You'll get member access to our longer videos, which are over on nerdaffiliated.com. While you're over there watching the longer videos, be sure to check out the Nerd Affiliated merch store. Get yourself or a loved one the gift of some sweet, sweet Nerd Affiliated merch. That'll do it for me. Steve, play me out of here, please.